I feel we need to do one more live following up elevate, don't wait. So, oftentimes, when we're elevating, we encounter a lot of resistance in the face of the people around us because it's like the analogy of the crabs in the bucket, and the one crab is trying to get out, and the other ones are pulling him down, or Plato's allegory of the cave. When a person starts to become more conscious, it's clearer for us to see others' unconscious patterns and where they're in victim or martyr mentality. And we don't tolerate any more drama and listening to people complain and not actually looking for a solution. When we see the dysfunctional pattern, we can provide the solution and be like, well, why don't you do this? And how about this? Or you're talking bad about this person, but actually, have you considered your behavior and the situation? And how about your responsibility in the breakup of that relationship? And a lot of times, people that are not on a healing journey and that are not trying to become more self aware do not want to hear these things. And if you see them and know them, but don't speak up and continue to surround yourself with those people, then you're sabotaging your own growth for the sake of familiarity and comfort and not rocking the boat. And when you do start to speak up, you inevitably are going to rock the boat. And by rocking the boat, you are giving an opportunity to the other person uh, to learn a balancing act. And they can either choose to hear you out, respect your wisdom and higher level of awareness, learn from you, and elevate themselves by saying, wow, I actually never thought about this like that. And it is true that I'm half responsible for this situation. And it is true that I keep talking about losing weight, but I'm not changing my diet and I'm not exercising. And thank you for holding me accountable. And thank you for pointing out better foods that I can eat and suggesting an exercise routine. And that is what a person with a growth mindset would do. But if they're not with a growth mindset and they don't want to put in the work because elevation requires work, it requires changing a habit, a routine, it requires learning something more and changing your old patterns. And if we go deeper, it requires healing trauma and ancestral wounding and all kinds of stuff that nobody wants to look at, but that's where our patterns come from, and a lot of our negative emotions that we are stuck in, like toxic shame, for example. So if people are not willing to go down that path, uh, what you need to do is recognize that, respect their choice and decision, and at the same time respect yourself and slowly remove yourself or really quick from that situation. For sure, if you remove yourself really quick or even slowly, it is going to piss them off. They can project uh, a lot of things on you, including their jealousy and envy as they're watching you elevate and have your inner peace and being okay without them in your life. But again, other people's emotions are not your responsibility. Your responsibility is you yourself and your path of higher self awareness. And you constantly need to choose higher thoughts, higher vibrations, forgive the people for they know not what they're doing, forgive yourself for overstaying in a certain situation that has not been right for a while, but you kept having hope that this person would actually have a desire to elevate and not follow through and not just agree with you, because there are the people that agree with you on the things that you say, but then they take no action. So that's where we need to be really discerning and pay attention to actions rather than words. And respect, is there kindness? Is there respect? And some people would choose not to elevate, but at the same time, they will respect the fact that you are elevating and still be able to support you in whichever ways. Hi, everyone. Uh, so it's very important to watch for that, and also watch yourself. Are you following through? Uh, are you keeping the promises that you made to yourself? Uh, watch your energy, watch your actions. Are they complying with the things that you're saying? And if you want certain things, are your actions aligned? I love this quote that says, choose the life you want and say no to everything else that is not taking you in that direction. So it's important to know where we want to go. And let's say, for example, if you are after financial location and time freedom, uh, if you start dating and you begin to date somebody that has a 9 to 5 job, is tied to family and obligations in a certain place, and they're constantly busy, so they have none of those, and maybe they have financial freedom but they don't have time or location freedom, or whichever way, like that manifests itself, and it doesn't look like they want to go in that direction. Maybe from the beginning say no, this is not going to work because I want to travel and you don't even want to get on an airplane or you don't have the time. So all of these things are very important, and that is not to be judgmental, but discerning. Or let's say, for example, if you are self-employed and you want to make money doing what you love, and you want to take the risk in starting a new business, if you're around people that are set in their ways and they prefer to work with somebody even if they don't like their job, being in their presence might not be the most motivational thing for you, especially close proximity, because they will project their own fear and insecurities of starting their own business and following their passion onto you, and may unconsciously influence you and instill fear, doubt, and insecurity, especially in the beginning of your venture. So those are really good things to pay attention to, and also to not be afraid to shine our light, not be afraid to be proud of living the life of our dreams and going after our dreams and achieving those things that for other people are unachievable. And uh, even if our light irritates them and our accomplishments irritate them and our freedom irritates them, uh, be okay with upsetting certain people, because their upset comes from the realization that they could be doing and achieving the things that you're doing and achieving, even if it is, and mostly if it is, a peaceful life, doing what you love, surrounded by what you love, and having this inner fulfillment. But they're not. And why aren't they? Because they don't have the courage to carve their own path. They don't have the courage to let go of what no longer serves. They don't have the courage to walk the road less traveled. They don't have the courage to change and disappoint others. They don't have the courage to shine their authentic light, but they'd rather conform, people please, and hide. They don't have the courage to face their own shadows and unlock the gifts that hide in the caves that we fear to enter. They don't have the courage to live life as an adventure and meet challenges and opportunities boldly and unlock strength and resilience. They don't have the focus, determination, and inner strength and power that it takes to live a truly authentic life. They don't have the courage to be themselves in a world that is constantly trying to make you be like everybody else. But maybe you do. And if you do, don't be afraid to shine because you trigger a lot, but you also inspire many. And that's beautiful. Think of all the people that have inspired you and are inspiring on the journey. How they were not afraid to be different. How they tried and failed and kept trying. How bravely they expressed themselves. How grounded they are just because they've gone through so many challenges. How deeply wise and impactful their presence is. How beautiful to bask in their light through their legacy and the art that they've created. And you can be like the people who inspire you if you truly want to and put in the work that's necessary and follow through with consistency and joy and determination to live a life that is authentic to you.